Beautiful fall day today, and I think it's a great day to do some chicken wings on the Weber Smokefire. So let's get them started. Okay, we're going to start by seasoning these, and I'm going to use the Holy Voodoo from the Meat Church lineup. I really like it. It's got a kind of a Cajun flavor to it, not super spicy, just some nice flavor. You can use whatever you want here. Just plain salt would be fine. Salt and pepper would be fine, but the point is we're going to season these up and then leave them in the fridge for at least a few hours and let them dry brine, so that'll help the skin crisp up nicely on the cooker. So we're going to get these seasoned up and on a rack. So you don't want to go too heavy, but you definitely want to get a good coating. So I've got these kind of lined up so I can get at least one side of them pretty well. And I'm going to take them from this little bowl, this stainless bowl, and put them on the rack. And when I do that, I'm going to kind of turn them over so the unseasoned side is facing down. And then we'll come back through with our seasoning and hit them again. That way we can be sure and get them nice and seasoned. I do plan to do a little sauce with these, so there'll be all kinds of places that these wings can pick up flavor. But having them in this dry brine will help the skin dry out, which will in turn help them get crispy later. So this is an important step. Certainly when I've been in a time crunch before, I have skipped this, but it does help. And you can use a barbecue rub here, or again just as simple as salt and pepper is totally fine. I've used all kinds of different things on wings as far as seasoning goes, and sometimes they're really good with just a salt and pepper dusting. That one didn't get well seasoned at all. A couple of these didn't. So we'll be sure to get that here in a moment. I've got chili on the Smokefire for another video right now, so we're just going to run the Smokefire all day today while we hang out and watch a little college football. Okay, so now we're just going to come back through with our seasoning. It's always good to season from 12 to 18 inches above. It helps the seasoning coat evenly so you don't get big clumps in one place and then miss in another. I'm kind of bad at this. I always end up getting too close to the meat. I'm doing okay now. There we go. This is pretty good. There's that one that didn't get a lot of seasoning, so we'll get that down. This one's not great either. Thought I had a couple through here. This is going to start pulling the moisture out of the chicken, but then it will also then penetrate back into the chicken. And again, the salt that is in this seasoning will help the skin crisp up, which to me on a chicken wing is important. Oh, there's another one. Knew I had a few through here that didn't get a great covering. Alright, I think that's looking pretty good. So these are going to go into the refrigerator, and they're just going to sit there and get some of this Meat Church Holy Voodoo love. So we will come back when we put these on the cooker. the smoke fire going next to me, getting ready to cook some wings for the boys and I. I thought I'd do a quick beer review, and for the first time it's actually one I've never had. It's Bell's Brewery Rind Over Matter. It's sort of a wheat ale with lemon and orange. So I actually like, one of my favorite beers is Blue Moon with the orange slice. So I think this will probably remind me of that. We're gonna give it a shot. So right now I still have the landscaping happy neighbors and now airplanes. So I don't even know if you can hear me, but we're gonna try this beer and see how it is. Okay, so it would remind you of a Blue Moon, but it's definitely hoppier, which I don't mind at all. I think I'd say I like a Blue Moon better, but this is pretty good. Nice and cold. So Bell's Brewery Rind Over Matter, give it a shot sometime. It's worth it. It's good. The citrusy aftertones are particularly good. Very refreshing. So thanks for joining. As usual, take a second if you haven't already done so and like this video and subscribe to the channel. And we're going to get these wings on the cooker. So there are our wings. They've been dry brining in the refrigerator now for, I don't know, about 5 hours, maybe something like that. They've got all the seasoning I'm going to put on them before putting them on the cooker. So they are pretty much ready to go. I've got the cooker set, as you may have seen earlier, at 375. I want to give the wings the best chance to crisp up, so definitely have to have them 325 or more. I find that 375 is a pretty good temperature to cook wings at. Remember, with wings, with thighs and wings, you can take them up to an internal temperature of well more than 165. I even like wings in the 185 to 195 range. And they're still juicy and the meat just falls off the bone, and that skin really can crisp up nicely. So that's what we're going to be doing today. So we're going to get these on the cooker. Alright, so here we go. The cooker open. I've got the grates oiled down a little bit, and I have brushed them off really well. So we're just going to start putting these wings on. Got a little bit of a hot spot if you've seen any of my smoke fire videos previously, kind of right center. So I'm going to avoid this spot right here. It wouldn't burn them, but I'd have to keep track of them more. And so I'm just going to avoid that hot spot. I've also got the upper rack if I need to get them further away from the heat. I'm going to end up doing a sauce out here as well, so I'll bring that out. Nothing special, nothing fancy, but I do like sauce with my wings, and the boys do too, and it's just us tonight. So a couple of these didn't quite get the amount of seasoning I would have wanted, but with the sauce and the seasoning they did get, they're going to be fine. I'm not worried about them at all. Okay, so there we go. We're going to get the lid shut and just let these do their thing. I'll probably check on them about every 15 minutes or so, and I'll bring you back for that. So we'll see you shortly. Okay, it's been about 15 minutes. I'm going to go ahead and probably flip these wings. Starting to get some decent color. So we're just gonna go ahead and flip these. Probably could have waited too, but that's alright. I've got the lid open, so we'll just get it done. You always want to make sure you give your wings a little room to breathe. By the way, the upper rack of the Smokefire is hot. I just burned my hand on it to prove it for a second time. Alright, so there's definitely a warmer row right there, so I'll be keeping an eye on those, and we can move them to the top rack if they start getting too much color. As long as they don't get really charred, I don't mind a little color on my wings. So I'm not concerned about it at this point. Okay, these on the left side are not nearly as far along, so I think I'm going to move those. Even though I know this is a warmer spot of the grill, I'll just have to keep an eye on them. Then I'm going to move them over here. There we go. So we'll give these another 10 or 15 minutes and come back and take a look at them then, and we'll see you in a few. Okay, been about another 10 minutes or so, a little more. So we're gonna start turning these again. These ones in this row look beautiful. I want to get them turned fairly quickly, and by the way, the top rack is still hot in case you were curious. Jeez, I'll stop doing that. There we go. Some of these I may move to the top rack here pretty quickly, and then that'll give a chance for these ones on the left side, which is definitely the cooler side of this cooker, to get over the hot spot of the fire and get some good color on them like the others, although these don't look too bad. The other thing we're going to do on this trip is get our sauce going. So I have in a pan here some butter and some garlic powder, just a half a stick, and I just happen to have about a half a bottle of the Killer Hogs Vinegar Sauce. I do like the How to Barbecue Right stuff, so we're just going to use it. And the sauce I really like on wings is kind of a spicy barbecue. So we're going to throw that barbecue sauce in there, and then we're going to take some good old Frank's Red Hot, good standby for wings, and I'm going to pour, I don't know, that much in. That was maybe a third of a bottle, quarter of a bottle, something like that. So I'm just going to put that pan in the back of the cooker and let it start to come together, and we'll stir it here in a little bit. Next time we open the lid, we'll probably move our wings up to the top grate just to get them a little further away from the fire, so we'll be back here in just a few minutes. Okay, been in about another 10 minutes. I'm sure I'm going to move some of these wings to the top rack. Yeah, definitely going to move this row up. So my favorite part of the wing is the flat. Let's just get that on the table right now. Drums are fine, I'll eat those too. But if I had to choose one, it would be the flat. Boy, these are really looking nice, getting some great color on them. So some of these that need a little more color, I'm going to move to this warmer part of the grill. That butter with the barbecue and hot sauce. Probably going to be way too much sauce, at least for these wings. I was going to dunk them in this, but I think I might not, so I can save the sauce for something else, since there is so much. All right. We will be back. All right, another 10 minutes. Some of these that we moved to the hot spot are probably ready to move up. So we'll take a look. These are looking great. Are not the easiest thing to get a temp read on, but still want to get an idea. I can use one of these big brummies and get an idea. Wings are so forgiving though. I've eaten them over 200 degrees and they're just fine. And if I had my way, I'd go over 190 on them every time. Alright, not as many to move up top as I thought, but a few. So we're going to let these keep going. Going to give our sauce a quick stir. And that has all come together nicely. I'll see if I can avoid accidentally grabbing that handle without a glove. Turn the camera a little bit. Maybe try to zoom in just a bit. So hopefully you can see those. They're looking really good. So I want to get this lid closed, keep the heat beating on them. We will bring you back shortly. These are probably about 15-20 minutes from all coming off, I'm guessing. Okay. We have been about another 10 minutes, something like that. I am going to definitely move things to the top rack, but I think they're pretty ready to come off too. Color looks great. Really happy with that. So we'll start moving them up top. This one got a little crispy. See that? But I still like that. So, skin feels nice. I'm going to move these to the top and I'm going to crank the temp up to 4 or 450 while I get the sauce inside. And let these do a final crisp up. And we're calling it on these bad boys. So we'll be back in a minute, and I'll probably just bring you inside for the taste. Okay, so the wings are in. I've got half of them on the board there, unsauced, and I'm just going to use the bowl that I brought them in with and add a little of the sauce that we made on the smoker. Again, butter, garlic, barbecue sauce, and Frank's Red Hot. That's going to make a little mess there, so got to deal with that real fast. Buckeyes won today. They didn't look great, but they won at least. And Sparty's about to lose, so Not a bad day. I'm not sure who the late game is tonight, but been a decent day of college football. So I'm just gonna toss these wings around and then just dump those out. Might be a little too much sauce, but that's not really a term I'm familiar with, to be honest with you. So there's our wings, half sauced, half unsauced. I'm going to be back in just a minute and we'll do a taste test. We'll do it on camera. So see you in a minute. Okay, so here we go. We're going to try these. First one I have is a drummy without sauce. I should learn to take smaller bites. Really good. I love that Holy Voodoo seasoning. The perfect amount of spice, not hot at all. Just good, robust Cajun flavor. Excellent wing. I saved the one with sauce for the last one because I know that I like sauce on wings. I tasted this sauce. It was really good. Really nice color on those, just beautiful. So let's try this one. That's when you know a good wing. When the bones fall apart and the meat and the skin come right off the bone. That's cooked perfectly as far as I'm concerned. Awesome. Wings are some of my favorite food, and these did not disappoint. Thanks for dropping by Buckeye Barbecue. Really appreciate it. If you have a second and you feel like it, if you could subscribe to this channel, I would be grateful for that. And we will see you next time here at Buckeye Barbecue.